This episode of Pokemon Crystal Nuzlocke is brought to you by Spheal. Spheal! It's so cute! And welcome back to Pokemon Crystal Nuzlocke. This time we're going to be taking on Sprout Tower. Now, Sprout Tower is an optional area. The only rewards you get for going here are you find a couple items, you can get some experience, which is pretty much the main reason to go here, but you can also get an HM if you get to the top of the tower. Not a useful one, but it's there. Now, Sprout Tower's gimmick... Oh, and there's also wild Pokemon in here. A Rattata. But, you know what? Screw it, I don't care. I'm giving up an opportunity to get a free Pokemon, but I really don't care. Rattata sucks anyways, so... I've actually used Rattata, and it's okay enough at the beginning of the game, but it really gets outclassed later on. Anyways, like I was about to say, the gimmick of Sprout Tower is that all the trainers here train Bellsprout. And these Bellsprout are actually fairly good for experience. Orla's not going to be able to do much here because grass is 4 times effective against rock and the rock ground type that she has, so wouldn't be a good idea to use her. I'm just going to speed this up because this is really boring to watch. Yeah, that's kind of the really sucky thing about Zubats, is that they start out with nothing but Leech Life, which is a terrible move. And it doesn't even get any sort of stab bonus because Zubat is not a bug type. And I'll just keep Keese in there for another kill. Once again, speeding up. Actually, am I going to have enough Leech Lives to kill this thing? I don't think I will. Okay, well, this is as good a time as any to show this off. Struggle. This is the attack that Pokemon use when they run out of PP for their moves. It's a weak attack that has recoil damage. But, believe it or not, this is actually probably better than Leech Life. See, it does way more damage. Well, that was a critical hit, so not exactly as good an example, but you get the idea. It's way stronger than Leech Life. And Keese learns Supersonic. I'm gonna have to go back, I'm gonna have to buy potions. Actually, you know what, screw it, I don't care. We'll just have Turbo do the rest of the fighting now. I could go buy a potion and heal Keese, but I don't want to spend any more money right now. Anyways, there's a free Paralyze heal. Always nice. And another trainer. Okay, guess what this guy has? More Bellsprout. And guess what I'm gonna do? Eliminate the tedium. Ooh, Paralyze, that's always nice. Yeah, these Bellsprouts give really good experience, so it's highly recommendable that you come here. Okay, take care of this thing, and then I think I'll send out Way to get some experience. Don't want him to fall too far behind. Okay, Way, you go out there and kick these things' asses. And Tackle will do. I believe Bellsprout is part grass, part poison, so that's why Leech Life wasn't doing so well, because of the poison type cancels out the super effectiveness of it, which is annoying. That would have pretty much been the only advantage Keese had here. And let's see, you can also find Ghastlies here if it's nighttime, but they're not as common as the Rattatas. And random trivia. Normal types pretty much have only one weakness in fighting type and no resistances, but one thing about them is that they are not affected by ghost types, so Turbo would not be able to do anything against a normal type. That's the only resistance normal types get. And it also goes the other way around. Ghost types are not affected by normal types. So, if you've got a ghost Pokemon with nothing but ghost moves and a normal type Pokemon with nothing but normal moves, you have a complete standoff going there. Anyways, let's send Way in. You know, this name started out as a typo, but I actually kind of like it for some reason. Way. It's got a nice ring to it. At least to me it does. And let's see, another Bellsprout. Who should I send out? Keese can't do anything right now because Leech Life is out of PP. Luckily, Orla will be able to get some screen time in here because, believe it or not, a couple trainers actually do have something other than Bellsprout. And we'll see what it is later. It's not anything more exciting, mind you, but it's different. It's something that Orla won't get killed by. Ooh, and a potion. Probably gonna end up using that on Turbo since his health is starting to run a little low. Now this floor changes up a little bit. Now we're dealing with a level 6 Bellsprout. But it's going to pretty much fall the same way. And, geez, Lick must have a pretty good chance of paralyzing things, because it's been doing that to a lot of Pokemon. And as you can see, if you notice Turbo's stats there, it has really high special attack, but it just doesn't get the moves to take advantage of that in this generation. Gengars, Ghastly, Haunters, and Gengars are way better in the newer games because of the physical special split, but in this game it's kind of dumb. I don't get why Ghost is physical in this generation. They probably just did that to balance it out, but it still makes very little sense, since the only Ghost types in these games are actually primarily special attackers. Yeah, I don't exactly get it. As a matter of fact, Poison is also physical type, so Ghastlies and Haunters and Gengars can pretty much can't take any advantage of their stats and their types. Okay, Turbo's gotten quite a bit of experience in here. We're gonna put way up to the front to take on this guy. Now this guy changes up a little himself. He has a level 7 Bellsprout, but he also has a second Pokemon. And this Pokemon is actually quite different from the usual you'd be expecting here. Oh, one thing these Bellsprouts do different is they use Growth occasionally, which increases their special attack, but against Pokemon that resist it like Way, it's not that much of a threat. This Sage actually has a Hoothoot, a flying type Pokemon, which is pretty much the opposite of grass types. And pretty much has nothing to do with Bellsprout at all. It makes you wonder why he has it, but it's a nice change of pace at least. And I'm just going to speed that up because Growl pretty much lowered my attack by too much for me to like. Okay, that was taken care of, and Orla managed to get a level up in. Orla's not getting much screen time in here, but that's okay, because I'm expecting to use her against the gym here for pretty much everything. And as you can see, Rainer is here kicking the Elder's ass. And the Elder says he's kind of a dick to his Pokemon. He should step it down a bit. And Rainer responds in the way you'd expect him to. Yeah, Rainer is kind of an interesting rival. He's pretty much the only one who's a complete jackass. I mean, Gary's a kind of a dick to you sometimes, but he was at one point your friend. Rainer's just this douchebag. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, he actually goes through a bit of character development, and by the end of the game, he actually makes a bit of a change. But in this game, he becomes less of a dick later on, but for the most part, he's not that likable. In this game, at least. Anyways, the final Sage here is pretty much the same as all the other one. Has Bellsprouts and also has a Hoothoot. That's kind of a spoiler, but oh well, it's not like you cared that much anyways. So yeah, this is a fairly easy area, and it's a good idea to come here before you do the gym leader because you get a lot of experience for doing this. And trust me, having the levels makes the gym much easier. The gym leader himself is not that tough, but depending on what you picked, like if you pick Chikorita, you can have a very hard time with him because it's a flying type gym, and they've got some pretty strong attackers there. Come on. Ugh, I hate Tackle. Tackle just really annoys me how it's... Two Pokemon always get Tackle, and then there's one with Scratch. I think the exception to this is the third generation, where you had Trico with Pound. I think it was only Mudkip who had Tackle in that game. It was still fairly annoying. I just don't like Tackle. Anyways, we're going to have Orla go out to take care of this Hoothoot. And this Hoothoot is the highest level Pokemon in this tower at a level 10. Still not that threatening, though, but is infinitely annoying with its attack lowers with Growl. But it's not much of a match for me. And for defeating the final sage, he gives us the Flash HM. Now, Flash is pretty much a useless move. What it does in battle is it lowers the opponent's accuracy, and well, that is kind of nice. It's not particularly worth having, really. Why would you bother lowering something's accuracy when you could just kill it? And the other thing it does is it lights up dark areas, but for the most part, the areas where it does this, they're completely optional. There is one area close to the end of the game that you have to do, that you would have, the game expects you to use it, and this area isn't optional. It's the final area of the game. For those who've played this game before, you know what the final area is. But even then, you don't need it. You just have to do some annoying navigating to get around the area. Anyways, I'm just going to heal up my Pokemon here, and we're actually going to take on the gym in this episode, because why not? Sprout Tower wasn't particularly interesting. So we're going to use nothing but Orla in this gym, because, well, Orla doesn't have a Rock-type move, but she has the resistance to deal with all the trainers here. On their own, the trainers here are actually fairly tough. I mean, this guy's actually got a Sparrow, which is at level 9, which is probably one of the strongest Pokemon you've encountered so far. Anyways, I'm just going to speed this up because it's, like I said, not that interesting. But as you can see, with Orla's heavy resistance to the Sparrow's attacks, it couldn't do that much. This guy is a lot easier, actually. This guy he has 2 Pokemon, but they are much weaker than Sparrow. He has Pidgeys, which are level 7 and are pretty much universally worse Pokemon than Sparrow. Does this thing even have a flying type move yet? I know in this generation Gust got changed to a flying type, as it was for every generation afterwards, but does it have it yet? Not that it would really matter. Now for a random bit of trivia, there has never been a single pure flying type in any generation of a Pokemon game. All flying types always have some sort of secondary type. Like these Pidgeys and Sparrows, they all have a normal second type. So, pretty much in every Pokemon game, there has never been a flying type Pokemon. Just a Pokemon that is oh! Orla learns Rock Throw. Yeah, in the first generation, Geodudes don't learn Rock Throw until like level 15 or something stupid. I wasn't expecting to have that right now, but hey, I'll take it. And with that, this guy is probably not going to be any threat, but just for the sake of safety, I'm going to go back and buy another potion. I've learned that not being prepared for fights can be very devastating. So, no, not an escape rope. Okay, let's go take on the gym leader. Faulkner is probably the weakest gym leader that has ever been in any Pokemon game. His highest leveled Pokemon is level 9. Yeah, he's fairly pathetic, but if you've picked Chikorita and you haven't been using anything else up to this point, then you're probably in for a fairly rough fight, because, while Pidgeotto, yeah, his second Pokemon is Pidgeotto, at level 9 Pidgeotto, this guy cheats so badly. That's particularly annoying. Let's cut it out. Ah, jeez. See, that's the problem with Rock Throw. It doesn't have perfect accuracy, so when you get these accuracy drops going, it becomes quite annoying to use. Okay, I'm actually going to switch out and send Turbo in here to get rid of those accuracy drops on Orla. And then I'm going to switch Orla back in, because he's probably going to use Gust or something, which Orla resists. Hopefully this thing doesn't have Mud Slap as well, and of course it does. I jinxed myself there. But it's okay, because Rock Throw hits. Ah, just barely. I think Tackle actually has slightly better accuracy, so we're going to use that. Of course, it doesn't matter much. Okay, I do have an X accuracy. If it gets too bad, I can use that. Okay, come on. I'm not going to switch back out to Turbo, because Mud Slap will hit it, because abilities don't exist in this game, but that doesn't matter, because I managed to defeat this thing anyways. And Turbo got some of the experience himself. And that was Faulkner, relatively easy, if you're prepared for him. And you get a nice amount of money for beating him. So for defeating Faulkner, we get the Zephyr badge, which raises the attack power of Pokemon. And it lets you use Flash, which, not like you would use it, but I guess that's nice to have. And he gives you TM31, which contains Mud Slap, a fairly useless ground-type move. Its main claim to fame is that it lowers accuracy, but it is so pathetically weak that it isn't even worth it, to be honest with you. I mean, even if I put it on Geodude, who gets stabbed because of its ground typing, it still would do relatively crap damage, and Rock Throw is just a better move in pretty much every regard. Anyways, Professor Elm gave us a call there saying that one of his assistants is in the Pokemon Center. Now, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they changed this for some reason, and he's actually in the Pokemon Mart. Don't get why they did that, but whatever. And he's actually come to deliver us the Pokemon Egg. And the Pokemon will not hatch until something. Oh, it has to be with other active Pokemon to hatch. And apparently we're the only person he can rely on. Whatever. So, what does this egg contain? Well, we'll find out next time, because I can probably just walk around a bunch and get it close to hatching off screen. So, when we come back, we'll hopefully get to see what's in that egg, and yeah, we'll continue on our way. I believe the next area, it's another route, I forget what it is. Let's see, it is Route 32. So yeah, we'll take care of that next time. So until then, see ya.